everyone. Welcome to your Wednesday update. Nathan, one of your ministers. I'd recorded a whole video when I was in Little Rock at an installation, and just the way the weather seems right now, I thought I should just do one today on Wednesday. So let me start with all the stuff. This Sunday, Emily Toth is preaching on Delilah and Samson. We're inverting it. So Delilah is the center of this story, not Samson. So our own Emily Toth is doing that service. And then the 19th is Queer Fat. The 20th is New Member Sunday. And we're going to have an installation for Leslie Runnels, ordination for Leslie Runnels in New Orleans. And then on the 22nd, that's a Tuesday night, at Southern University, Together Baton Rouge is hosting a Unity 2024 event where we're going to have a whole bunch of people there. The Catholic bishop and the head of the Episcopal Diocese and all of this. It is a big event in the life of Together Baton Rouge in an attempt to really broaden and solidify it. So that is going on. But what I wanted you to know about is just to name how weird it is for me, for us here, to have such good weather today, and to have that good weather happen. The thing that caused the good weather is what pushed the hurricane to Florida. And some people have sort of expressed sort of a survivor's guilt or a weird feeling of, I'm glad it's them and not us. And so I thought it'd be important for a few things to just kind of be laid out. We don't control, this is back to that serenity prayer from the general serenity prayer, but the one that I had talked about a couple of weeks ago in terms of as it relates to climate change. What do we have the power to control and what do we not have the power to control? Where the hurricane goes is not our stuff. It is okay for you to be relieved that a hurricane is not hitting you. It is also okay for you to feel empathy or sympathy or worry or for people that it is hitting. None of us controlled the hurricane or made it happen. And unless we as a society are able to get a handle on what we are putting into the atmosphere, this stuff is just going to happen more and more. So there are things we can control and there's things we can't. So I'm just saying it is okay for you as a religious person to enjoy and be grateful for the weather you have. And it is not it's not causational of the hurricane in Florida. And for us, the traumatized people, it is really hard to sit and watch and know that strange nervous energy that comes on the eve of a hurricane where everything looks okay now, but it's about to not be okay. And then to know all of the destruction that's going to happen, and then all of the sort of hand-wringing and people complaining about how people should have evacuated or blaming them for their suffering, all of this stuff. So what do we do as a religious people? The first is just be present, be here. It's okay. It's okay for us to take care of each other. Second is really sort of look through your 21st century Rolodex. Think about who is in the area that that needs a reach out. So I've reached out to some of the colleagues. Who do you know that's living within the direct line of the path? I usually reach out and I say, I do not need you to respond right now, but I'm here if you'd like to talk. And I just wanted to know if you're okay. Because often when someone's in the immediate path of a storm, if people are aware of it, they just get inundated with people reaching out for help. So I would say reach out lightly to people. The UUA has a disaster response fund, and it was depleted before Helene hit Florida and Georgia and Alabama and certainly the Carolinas. People have given a lot to it, and I'm sure it is depleted again. So just they're going to need more if they're going to be, and the UUA's Hurricane Relief Fund gives specifically to Unitarian Universalists and Unitarian Universalist causes. So it's a way that you can directly help the folks within our religious circle. If you give to a large entity like the Red Cross, some of that goes to immediate help, and they have the large infrastructure to do it, and some of it goes to bureaucracy and some of the machinations of having a large infrastructure, staff salaries, advertising, things like that. A lot of colleagues of mine say look for the local organizations to give to, because those are usually the ones where your dollar is going to have the most impact, and they're on the ground and they know the best way to help quickly. Really, just if you have the capacity, give, and that's the most important thing. Also, I had a request from a church member that if anyone is sending up supplies to North Carolina, let us know so that we can also aggregate or help collect some of the supplies. So there you go. That's that. I did want to tell you we have finished the pledge drive. As of the finished pledge drive, we have 124 families pledged. Last year we had 200. The year before we had 250. So there's still pledges out there. I didn't turn in my pledge until Tuesday, but there's still pledges out there. Right now we're at 402,000. We're not going to talk about this anymore after Sunday. We're still going to collect the pledges so we can make budget, but the month of talking about it is over. I wanted you to know how it ended. So there's still about 100 pledges out, and we need to, if we get 100,000 more in pledges, we make last year's kind of bare bones budget. And if we get 200,000 more in pledges, we're able to do everything that I could want, including our full gift to the UUA. And on that, actually, for us to balance the budget last year, we usually give, they ask about 35,000 for us. Because that's, I think, 6-7% of our budget, something like that. And we have always given that back into the 80s and 70s. And then when we were recovering from COVID, we didn't have the income to give it to them. We had to cut it. First, we cut it to 25. Then we cut it to 10. And last year we had to cut it to 1,000. I heard that the UUA currently, their budget loses about $70,000 a year. If we were able to get back up to that 600,000, we could give our full amount. That's half of what they're losing. So I do feel like our congregation, which has a long history of giving very generously to our association, I would love for us to get back to giving. I'm not going to do that at the expense of all of our programming and our staff, but just know that's sort of what the 500,000 gets us to last year's budget, which has like a minimum staff thing. And the 600, the minimum programming, minimal raises, basic building maintenance. But if we got up to 600,000, so for those who haven't pledged yet, if everyone who has not pledged can give $90 a month, we get to the 500,000. If everyone who hasn't pledged can give $250 a month, we get to that 600,000. Now, some people can give 5 figures. Some people cannot give above 3 figures. It's okay. Give what you're able to. But if we can get those 100 in, the 100 pledges in, we're going to be able to do a lot of really good stuff. But I just want you to know that, there's still some recovery going on for us as a church. We're good. We really are good compared to how a lot of places are doing, because just the shutdowns and the pandemic really hurt everyone. But anyway, I just want you to know. Also, the art and jewelry sale, we raised $16,000. Once again, to balance the budget, that $500,000 budget, pledges budget, we had to raise $70,000 in fundraising. So $16,000 from the art and jewelry sale is phenomenal. There are some real leaders. One of them is Christy Boudreau, who helped. I'm trying to picture who is around Christy all of the time, like Amy Dellinger and there was I'm sorry to the rest of you for not naming you, but some people who worked incredibly diligently to make that happen. And we're going to do it again next year, I think. And I don't yet have the numbers on how the jazz concert, the cool evening went. So let's say we got $800,000. Who knows? Anyway, I just want you to kind of take care of yourselves. The hurricane thing can be weird, and we're here for you. Oh, the last thing. I recorded a video because I did an installation for the Reverend Paul Beadle in Little Rock, Arkansas, at their church on Sunday evening. And it was great. I set up my little phone to record this video there. I did it in like the robing room, and in the middle of me recording it, someone came in to clean up the room, and it just wasn't a good video. But I want you to know that our church in Little Rock is doing great. They're happy. They're friendly. 5 people greeted me before I got in the door. And they were so proud to know how good the Baton Rouge church is doing. So I just know, there's other Unitarian Universalists who are doing really good ministry. And it's great that we can be an example of how to do that. That's it. We'll see you on Sunday. Hope you're having a good week. Bye. Oh. After Unity event, October 2022. See, this is like that you stuck around after the credits rolled. We're having our Halloween party on the Saturday, the 26th at 5 o'clock. It's open to everybody. It's not just for kids. 7 o'clock, 5 o'clock. Come. There's plenty of great stuff going on. We'll see you on Sunday.